Now, in just one station, surveillance cameras showing a new view of a violent shootout in a parking lot of a South Florida apartment building. The barrage of bullets sending 2 people to the hospital, and it lands a rapper in jail. 7 Sheldon with the exclusive.
The town of Bay Harbor Island says you're wanted for aggravated battery with a deadly weapon.
Yo, listen up. October 2025. The streets were buzzing with rumors that seemed too good to be true. Word on the internet was spreading like wildfire. Pooh Shiesty, one of Memphis's most dangerous voices, was about to walk free. But here's the thing about the internet. It lies. People were calling cap left and right. Fake news, clickbait, another social media hoax. But then, his lawyer, Bradford Cohen, hopped on Instagram and confirmed what everyone thought was impossible. Pooh Shiesty was officially out. After 3 long years locked up in federal prison, the man who gave us Back in Blood was back on the streets.
Memphis rapper Pooh Shiesty is no longer in federal custody, according to his attorney.
And trust me when I tell you, this story is way deeper than you think. Now here's where things get wild. See, Pooh Shiesty was supposed to do 5 years for a shooting case that could have buried him forever. We're talking about a situation where he was staring down a life sentence if he took it to trial. Life. Let that sink in. But Shiesty wasn't about to gamble with his whole existence. He pleaded guilty, got charges dropped, and the prosecutors? They were still pushing for a decade behind bars. 10 years. The judge looked at everything, weighed it out, and handed down 5 years. That was the deal. But plot twist, my man only served 3. Good behavior. Model inmate. He did his time the right way and got out early. But hold up, it's not total freedom yet. Right now, Pooh Shiesty's in a halfway house. That means he can move around during the day, handle business, see his people, but when the sun goes down, he's gotta check back in. It's freedom with a leash. And what's the first thing this man does when he tastes that freedom? Drops $100,000 on a brand new chain. That's the energy we're working with.
Out your back, cause you need it.
The reunion and the Cardi B situation. The moment Shiesty touched down, his brother Big 30 pulled up to celebrate. We're talking bags of cash, love, real street loyalty. These two go way back, and seeing them reunited, that was a moment. But that's not all. Pooh Shiesty decided to shoot his shot on Instagram. He hopped in Cardi B's comments and typed out 3 words, "I love you." Now, if you think that's random, let me take you back. This wasn't his first time. While he was locked up in 2024, during Cardi's messy divorce from Offset, Shiesty was still sliding in her comments from prison. My man was behind bars, shooting his shot through contraband phones. Respect the audacity. But here's the reality check. Cardi B has moved on. She's now in a relationship with NFL star Stephon Diggs from the New England Patriots, and word is, they're expecting a baby together. So yeah, Shiesty's flirting might have missed the window on this one. The music drought and federal contraband. Let's talk about music. Pooh Shiesty hasn't dropped a real track in 2 years. That's an eternity in hip-hop. The last thing we got from him? A song called Federal Contraband 2, recorded on a jail phone with that raw, crackling, desperate energy only prison can produce. And the lyrics? Man, they hit differently. He's talking about the harsh reality of being locked in a cage. He's reflecting on losing his cousin Big Scar, while he couldn't do anything but sit in a cell. He's trying to stay patient, trying to keep hope alive when everything around him is falling apart. That track wasn't just music, it was survival. It was therapy. It was a message to the streets that he was still alive, still hungry, still him. Big Scar, the loss that broke him. Now let's talk about Big Scar, because this loss hits deep. Big Scar wasn't just another artist on the roster. This was Pooh Shiesty's blood cousin, family. And it was actually Shiesty who connected Scar with Gucci Mane and got him signed to 1017 Records. Scar had already survived a shooting back in 2020. Bullets tore through him, but he lived. He was a survivor. But in December 2022, while Pooh Shiesty was locked up and helpless, Big Scar died from an accidental overdose. Gone. Just like that. And Shiesty couldn't even say goodbye. In his music, he expressed deep regret over not being able to reconcile before Scar's death. He talked about the pain of losing people you love, the guilt of unfinished conversations, and the commitment to stay sober and focused moving forward. That loss changed him. You can hear it in his voice. Memphis is a war zone. While Pooh Shiesty was locked away, the Memphis rap scene transformed into a battlefield. His boy Big 30, he's now in a full-blown war with Moneybagg Yo. Now these two used to be cool. They collaborated, They were on tracks together, everything was love. But then Newski died, Big 30's cousin and Moneybag's artist, and everything changed. Big 30 started accusing Moneybag of only signing him and others for street protection, not real loyalty. Moneybag fired back with disses, and he even name-dropped Pooh Shiesty in his lyrics. Then Big 30's associate Cheese Thala got killed in the midst of all this tension. The streets are watching, the bodies are piling up, and the rumor mill is saying Shiesty might have diss tracks in the stash, ready to go. But so far, he's staying quiet. He's staying out of the drama. For now, the beef's before prison. Before he went in, Pooh Shiesty was already navigating dangerous waters. Memphis was split down the middle with the Yo Gotti versus Young Dolph war, and Shiesty, he tried to stay neutral by signing with Gucci Mane instead of local labels. But even that didn't keep him safe from conflict. He had beef with Big Boogie, and word on the street is that tension led to a deadly shooting at Boogie's show in 2020. Then there was the EBG crew, especially a rapper named EBG E Jizzle, who dissed Shiesty on a remix of Back in Blood. Shortly after that, E Jizzle got shot. Rumors swirled that he was paralyzed, but that turned out to be false. Still, the message was clear. Pooh Shiesty wasn't just a rapper. He was still tied to the streets, still running with Choppa Gang, still living the life he was rapping about. The bloodline lets go back to where it all started. Pooh Shiesty's father, known on the streets as Mob Boss, had a criminal background and deep connections with Memphis mob leader Ronnie Woods. Mob Boss wasn't just in the streets, he was also in the music game. He had a track called Mob Ties, and young Shiesty grew up in the studio watching his father work. This wasn't some kid who discovered rap on YouTube. This was in his DNA. Music and the streets were intertwined from day one. He was born into this life. The Rise March 2019. Pooh Shiesty drops his first song with Big 30, and it starts gaining traction immediately. By 2020, he's collaborating with Gucci Mane and Lil Baby. The industry is watching. Then comes Back in Blood featuring Lil Durk, and boom, mainstream success. That song became an anthem. It was everywhere. Clubs, radio, TikTok, the streets. Pooh Shiesty went from Memphis underground to a household name in what felt like overnight. But with fame came attention, and not all of it was good. The case that changed everything October 2020. This is the moment that derailed everything. Pooh Shiesty rents a McLaren in Florida. Sounds like a flex, right? But this trip wasn't for vacation. He met up with some people for a drug and sneaker deal. And then, shots fired, chaos, people hit, and in the madness, Shiesty left behind a Louis Vuitton bag full of cash that tied him directly to the crime scene. Rookie mistake. Fatal error. He got out on bond, but then he couldn't stay out of trouble. He shot a club security guard in another incident. Now he's facing multiple serious charges, and the feds are closing in. He took a plea deal that reduced his sentence, but the damage was done. His career was frozen. His freedom was gone. Gucci and the label question. When Pooh Shiesty got out, Gucci Mane celebrated his release on Instagram. Love was still there. But here's the interesting part. Shiesty's latest song was released under Choppa Gang, not Gucci's 1017 records. So what does that mean? Is he still signed? Did he renegotiate? Are they working together independently? The relationship seems solid, but the business side? That's unclear. One thing's for sure. Shiesty's moving like he's his own boss now. The Declaration of Independence and federal contraband too. Pooh Shiesty made his intentions crystal clear. He said, "I'm the biggest. Ain't no CEO or OG over me." That's a statement. That's a man declaring independence. He's planning to relaunch his career on his own terms, make his own moves, and not repeat the mistakes that cost him 3 years of his life. He's focused. He's hungry. And he's done playing by anyone else's rules. The comeback question. Now here's the thing everyone's wondering. Can Pooh Shiesty actually come back? Because we've seen this story before. Bobby Shmurda came home and couldn't recapture the magic. Young Thug just got out, and the industry's waiting to see if he can bounce back. The music game moves fast. 3 years is a lifetime. Trends change, new artists pop up, the audience moves on. But Shiesty has something going for him. His debut single went platinum. He still has a loyal fan base that's been waiting, hungry for new music. If he drops soon, if he stays focused, if he avoids the traps that sent him away in the first place, he's got a real shot. So where does this leave us? Pooh Shiesty is out, but he's not free. He's in a halfway house with a curfew, navigating a Memphis rap scene that's more dangerous than ever, mourning the loss of his cousin, and trying to rebuild a career that was frozen in time. The streets are watching. The industry is waiting. And the question everyone's asking is simple. Can he do it? Can he rise from the ashes and reclaim his spot? Or will he become another cautionary tale of what could have been? One thing's for sure. Pooh Shiesty's story is far from over. The next chapter, that's about to be written, and we're all here to watch it unfold.